Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting Propagandacast with me, your host, Imperial Dane, Master of Propaganda. Off here to a 2 vs 2, a Monday novice fight for you, ladies and gentlemen, here on Minsk Pocket. We shall be watching Ivole and Jericho here fighting for the United States of America and the 19th Infantry Division, tasked with holding this part of the woods. As the Germans, after Kampfgruppe Walter, push forward with John Schnee and Legal Talisman with Oberkommando West and Wehrmacht. Commanders are airborne for Jericho, already chosen there, and infantry, rifle and mechanized here for Ivole. Legal Talisman with break for Luftwaffe and special operations, box standard there, and John Schnee finally, who's gone straight on for joint operations. A bit of a rare combination there. Back to Jericho though with airborne heading up the right hand side. Ivole spreading out a bit there. Germans are focusing very hard though on the right flank, in fact ignoring the center fuel point right away. Rising for the munitions instead. The Sturm Pioneers and the Weather Pioneers following up here. Interesting approach there from our German Freunden. And the rifleman squad there arriving. Looks like both forces then sending the infantry up, which both Germans have infantry up to secure the fuel. Interesting. More grenadiers arriving there with full guns arriving up as well. Splitting up there, it would seem. Americans still continue with a much more spread out approach, although both infantry squads heading up the west. More one moving up the left though. First engagement between the Sturm Pioneers and the reactionary troops. The reactionary troops definitely will not have much of a chance here, as the Sturm Pioniere are already moving in, closing in there with the Sturm Gewehrs, and making very short work there of the reactionary troops. And there we go, Jericho making no attempt there to actually save his men, instead having those 4 men utterly executed there. But the Sturm Pioniere already there. You know, unit preservation is a good thing, and he definitely should just retrieve them right there, at the very least pull them back towards the building. Either way, he did nothing, and he wasted the man unit there already and a bit of manpower. Rather senseless already. He's already teched for grenades, by the way. He's not using his men in cover, making them easier targets here for the German infantry. Definitely not helpful that we got more Germans coming up there. We've also got mechanized chosen here by Ivole, who's going for a military truck. Units moving up here pretty aggressively towards the left hand side, fully up there. German center giving way a bit. We do see that Schnee is setting up an MD-42 here to sort of slow down things. Alrighty then. Dart truck moving up on the left flank of this position. While territory can be secured, he could easily move up here, moving there, securing some territory further, applying pressure. Mechanized regiment headquarters up. Jericho and Ivole falling a bit back here from the center as the German counterattack sort of applies sufficient pressure. VAR's also now research here for Jericho. He's researching a lot of things for his men here already. Pathfinder's now available. He could call someone in to sort of provide a bit of fire support here. There's a bit of trouble there. Go Rifle coming under fire. He should probably try to cut the grenadiers and flank the MG-42 and force that back rather handily up here. Rifleman changed to the Sturm Pioneers. Apparently he was forgetting there were Sturm Pioneers over here. His rifle in fact could end up ending up the same way as his reactionary troops, in particular sitting there out in the open. Oh, there we go, grenade off, but still, Rifleman. No, he didn't even bother dodging, he just turned out a full defeat, allowing this one man to escape. I mean, that was otherwise so rather poor handling there by Jericho. That could definitely have gone a lot better. Same time, fuel point there being harassed, that's good. Fuel cashed up already so early into the game, not something I'd condone. Of course, might help them in the longer term, even then. I mean, he might be giving up too much sort of early game pressure for that, so that could end up backfiring on him if he's not careful. MNF up here to probably deal with the truck. Ambulance on the way here for Jericho. He might want to consider at least upgrading some of those riflemen with Browning automatics now that he's actually researched them, otherwise it's a bit silly to research. Truck moving up here, rifleman forced away. He's some troops moving in to secure the territory. Truck needs to be careful. MNF moving in there. Grenade there. Oh, nice hit there. MNF setting up. Truck needs to get away. There we go. Nice shot. And oh, knocked out there. Too slow and pulling back. Destruction was the result at the hands of Deutschland. Over here to Ivole, who's got a lieutenant already. Still no sign of any BARs being secured here by the rifleman, which again begs the question, why did he research it? Don't research something like Browning automatics if you're then not going to use them. Nice bit of salvaging there on the Dart truck. And he's leaving a rifleman squad up here in a building instead of applying pressure up here. He could outflanked. Sitting there just wasting time over here. Not necessarily the best use of a rifleman squad, in particular not this early into the match. I mean, this is barely 5 minutes of the game and he's already got a unit stuck in a building like that. That is not good. That is very much not good, in particular when it's this far away from the fighting. I mean, this is 280 manpower for the Americans. This is in fact 1/4 of this force lingering away in a building at the moment. Not good at all. 50 caliber here on the way. At least we're not seeing any players float a ridiculous amount of resources. The Germans focusing up everything largely centre, allowing the Americans to push up the right flank. That is good. Still no sign of him actually getting a single Browning automatic, despite, you know, having researched it. Looks like an airborne unit being called in, or a 50 cal being dropped in.
Heavy machine gun team, ready for orders.
Rifle 8 there, rifle forced out in the open, though did not do too much.
Nuts. We got orders coming.
50 caliber there, and why on earth would he drop a 50 caliber out in the middle of bloody nowhere? That makes no sense. I mean, really, if you're going to airdrop stuff, don't do it beyond where you actually have units. Just how? Did that make sense? I mean, that really deserves a good slap from Patton. I'm sorry, but you just don't do that. That really ought to be common sense. I know this is the Monday Night's fault, but even that is a bit bloody difficult to, you know, get away with. More grenades as the force is launching an assault. Not going so well for the ones fighting the lieutenant right here. The grenade, though, did quite a bit of a good job there. He's got bazookas, and he's upgrading his lieutenant with a bazooka. That's definitely something else. He's got 3 command points. He's floating with a resource here. We could see the first squad go down here. Fighting Mega arriving. There we go. Got him with bazooka. And we're actually seeing a half track arriving here. Also rifle squad here with a bazooka. Black half track here, by the way. Sitting up here. But an M3 half track. A bit rare to see that from the Americans mechanized. Apparently he's decided to go for that.
A capture point.
There we go, 50 caliber getting flanked, unsurprisingly. Nothing to cover said flank. The rifle here getting cut down by the 50 caliber, now manned by some Germans. So nicely provided here by Uncle Sam.
We're losing a capture point.
He could be using that unit here to actually counter-attack rapidly up here and push the Germans back, but apparently not. Munitions cache going up, they're not sure why I went for munitions. Still no sign of rifleman squad actually being upgraded with the BR. Now he's also researched bazookas. I'm pretty sure he still hasn't grabbed himself a Browning automatic, which really begs the question, why did he go for it? And there we go, unit wiped out. Looks like a rifleman squad. In front of the 50 caliber, so he didn't even bother retreating. Come on, Ivole. Put some effort into it.
Ready. Send orders. Losing his goddamn marbles. Reinforcements in.
The American effort is completely falling apart at the moment. No cohesion, no common sense. Hardly looking impressive. Setting a large position here with the officer, 50 caliber and a flak half track. That's something going to be a bit tricky to deal with. Rifleman charging straight into it, trying to get off a bazooka shot, but instead they're just getting absolutely pummeled. Right hand side also being lost, fighters taking up position. We've seen paratroopers out for Jericho, no upgrades on them either. Fighters encountering a lot of angry Americans. Get about to large one, but not quite there. Half track though pursuing onwards. Helping to reinforce the troops, by the way. Good job there. I mean, that is one purpose for the Americans, to sort of keep enforcing as they move onwards. Sturmpioniere here under fire. And then almost getting wiped out, almost getting wiped out. Not sure why he held it back. He should have just gotten close as possible and just wiped them out. But, oh well. We got a flak half-track now flanking in here. At the same time here, Legal Salesman, yeah, I mean, it's not that offensive a weapon, particularly not when your opponent has a lot of bazookas. So right here, I mean, had that 50 caliber turned around, that probably could have been the end of that. Or say, had they just popped into the half-track and tried to hunt it down with bazookas on top. I mean, they could also go in there. Regular half-track up here for John Schnee. No, two Legal Talisman with a mix of 5 soldiers, doing pioneers and a flak half-track. A single mechanized regiment, flak half-track setting up here. Bazookas could knock it out, 50 caliber close, getting wiped out. Finally gotten some BARs up for some of the men. Took him bloody long enough. And looks like that flak half-track is about to go kaboom. There we go. He should have pulled it up that way rather than straight in front of them. Still maintaining a slight pressure here with the officer. At least he got an officer. But now the Germans are too spread out. I mean, they're trying to play too much at the same time over too large a distance, which overall renders a lot of it not very effective. There you go, recruiting the 50 caliber. Left side here being secured pretty aggressively. He could easily push onwards towards here with troops in the half-track and do some damage. I mean, he's got bazookas, flamethrowers, demo charges available on these Germans. I mean, he could probably do a lot of pressure around here, a lot of damage to the Germans if he actually were to push in. The echelon troops again wiped out mercilessly. And this 50 caliber just needs to get the hell out of there. But it might be too late. Ooh, he got lucky. No further sign of anything happening with his half-track. We did see a lot of usage with a lot of different armies, even the Germans when they captured some. Quick grenade here versus Life need to retreat. Slight pressure versus the munitions cache. A lot of units now standing back doing nothing, and he should apply further pressure, should be trying to pressure around here, try to force the Germans away from the front line. Thus allowing the other player to actually advance further up with little resistance, wiping out versus units with light machine guns, assault rifles while they're not retaining cover. Come on, half-track going out there, good, good, good. Supports the frontline units there, John Schnee. Overall, though, things are a bit messy here, a bit incohesive. And Ivole sort of not playing very cohesively at all. In fact, he's probably the one playing the least cohesively. Submachine guns would be interesting if he did not go for the light machine guns, which is normally what you'd usually expect for the first one. Closing in here, making short work of the grenadiers, though, as soon as they do get close. Engagement down here, riflemen and flamethrower engineers. Half-track should move up to support. Grenade off there versus the assault engineers. And the flamethrower went up in flames, burning poor Johnny. There you go, we got the half-track moving in there, 50 caliber rolling away, riflemen reinforced there. And there you go, full retreat there. I mean, the half-track is allowing him to keep up a good presence here and allow him to sort of keep up the pressure without having to pull back. But he's not really using it very well. He should be pushing onwards instead of just hanging about there with his hands in his pockets, hoping his teammate apparently will solve everything, despite the fact that Jericho here is barely doing anything now. He's just holding on to a very small swath of territory, at which point Ivole should really try to do as much harm as possible from different angles. But he's not. He's just sitting around on his arse. Meanwhile, we got Legal Talisman here moving up with a Stukas of Fuss. The German here, player Mr. John Schnee, holding a bit back at the moment as well. MD42 there stopping the 50 caliber. He puts a short incendiary down, putting ground to further damage. Lieutenant needs to fall back before he gets murdered. And there goes Stukas of Fuss, unloading a hellish payload. In the meanwhile, Ivole's doing bugger all, largely. Again, he could easily be applying some pressure around here. Meanwhile, Jericho making some kind of progress. An officer getting stopped. Oh, suppressed even. And there goes incendiary picking around here from John Schnee. Good, good, good. Increasing the damage done. Half track with veterans who won already. One kills. Storm Pioneers here being supported by it as well. Gutes Arbeit, Leute. Rifling in were forced away by this powerful, dynamic duo of German goodness, while Ivole continues to do very little.
Back up to full force.
Though we do note one fighting position, even then there's still plenty of units that could be doing something else, like again, pressuring here, knocking out mechanized regiments, knocking out fuel caches. Now we're seeing another truck moving up here. And we just see that Jericho, he's not even trying to outflank, he just keeps pushing head on, despite knowing what's here. He just keeps on making head on assaults, wasting units needlessly. He's just trying to set up a defense and then try to push across here, forcing the opponent to sort of shift forces away from the center. So what's the flank? Well, again, he attacks from another flank. They could actually make a very good pincer maneuver on the Germans, but instead it's not happening. In fact, now we're seeing a spare panzer corps going up. If he were to attack now from here, he could actually knock it out while it's setting up. But again, he's doing nothing. He's in fact just digging in. And in fact, even more importantly, he's not just digging in, he's digging in across a very wide amount of territory, spreading his forces very thinly. Which is not really the best kind of defense you can sort of conduct, not without a mobile reserve. And guess where that mobile reserve is going? Away from everywhere. So it will be a very thin defense with no mobile reserve track to sort of react in case something attacks, because the mobile reserve is just heading eastwards as we're talking. So in that regard, Ivole just sort of keeps to pile on the mistakes. Meanwhile, we're noting here with John Schnee, actually large force, 3 Grenadiers, Panzer Grenadiers, Officer, 2 Pioneers, MD-42, half track. And there we go, looks like the fight may get and look at mine also went off, they knock out the half track, and we got a Panzer 4 on the way. Good, good, good. Another Stukas of Fuß barrage here, doing a lot of damage. We got a flag half track here, or AA half track force from the Germans, the Krauts. Another fighting position again. It's a very, very, very thin defense. I mean, it's broad, but very thin. It won't take much in so case sort of push on. He's certainly trying to fortify it up here with barbed wire, which is nice, but even then, sometimes the best defense is good offense. I mean, your opponent can't defeat you if you've kicked him out down on the ground, or can he? Oh, too slow to pull back, and they're good use of the incendiary arm rounds here by John Schnee. In fact, gaining special MD-4 to Veteran 3 already. And the paratroopers just charge straight into there, just getting massacred.
The enemy is taking our territory.
Vicious stuff right there. The Germans are blowing things a bit up. If the Americans had a bit of artillery, there's something here. They could actually do a lot of damage if handled correctly in platoons, instead of leaving everything so close together. 50 cal getting cleared out. They're making progress on the right flank after losing the half track. That's good for Ivole, but he's leaving his opponent to take, or teammate to take most of the beatings here, which is not exactly the most efficient or good thing to do. And now we got a Panzer IV striking in. There's a few Bazookas sort of trying to do something with it, though they will strike a bit with a Panzer IV's front. There you go, quick rifle grenade. We do see a few units lost here. But we also see, I mean, not exactly advanced tactics here from Jericho. It's just horde attacks and the blob, to be honest, which again, you know, is something the Stukas of Fuß well aimed, can probably knock out in a barrage or two. So in that regard, I mean, Jericho needs to get it together as well. I mean, he's just resorting to the most brutish of human wave assaults, if anything. I mean, he's making it easy for the Germans. And there you go. Nicely angled attack, by the way, there by John Schnee. Oh no, Legal Talisman, you know, alongside, doing a lot of damage there, getting a lot of kills. Well done there. Bit of artillery going in by the looks of it. Panzer IV damage, machine gun. Oh, my artillery, lots of explosions. Crew got stunned in everything as well. Veteran 2 though, by the way, on the half track. Leute, paratroopers don't need to get away before they get turned into mincemeat. And looks like he might be able to deal with the fuel cache, although the riflemen have seen better days. Overall, the Germans need to put a bit more effort on the flanks. They're getting too focused on the centre and the fuel point. They're giving up the resource otherwise gained from elsewhere, and also leaving the fuel caches here unguarded. Things are definitely better. More fighting positions here. Ivole. I mean, I think he's trying to think, you know, he can get away with just playing the defense, but again, that's always a bad idea, usually. If both opponents then go on the offense, because that means he just have to wear down one player, and then the other player who's too thinly stretched out becomes an easy target who can't resist. So right now, it's an overall poor division there. I mean, it's really the sort of thing you should not be doing. I mean, there's nothing wrong about having a few defenses in there, but the way he's doing it is very, very poor defensive theory. Again, he's the most thinnest of defenses with a few points here and there, which could easily be overwhelmed. And then, of course, quickly, but basically meaning they're wasted resources. A defense is not a single fighting position. At most, it's a speed bump, depending on the overall terrain and how much you've modified it. Overall, you need a substantial force to somehow aid it, and currently there's not really much here to aid with. I mean, they can easily be taken out one and all, in some cases, assault and weapons being handed over to the enemy. Again. And again, blobbing up. He knows his opponent has rocket artillery. Then what does he do here? He leaves them so extremely close to each other. I mean, not good. Terrible, in fact. Awful. I mean, I'm sure that Stuka's Fuss gunners are enjoying it, but it's an utter waste of infantry here by Jericho. Never mind, he's also making it easy for MD42 to stop down the assault in its entirety. In all, it's extremely poor infantry tactics, and now we're noting here that apparently rocket strafe has also been summoned in. Which is nice, but the thing is, in this case, though, it's missing everything else, killing the infantry in this case, though, which is nice, but even then, you know, he might want to wait for, you know, a slightly higher priority target. Pinned down here, couldn't even lose them. Oh, looks like away. He's moving up an ambulance here for some reason. Like I said, there's a lot there to ambulance with. Oh, looks like the P-47 got shot down. How tragic. A lot of players here floating a lot of fuel. There's a bunch of Panzer IVs available for John Schnee as an example. I'm sure Jericho could get himself a Sherman or two, and the same here for Ivole. They certainly should consider getting some armour. And I'm pretty sure they've only got one bazooka, which is not exactly going to be the best tool for stopping a single Panzer IV. Not unless John Schnee turns out to be the absolutely worst Panzer commander in the history of Company of Heroes 2.
47 air support now available.
Though we got an anti-tank and reinforced, this is a bit better. Again, there's a bit of a gap here. That's a bit of a weakness. And same here, you know. I mean, the defences have a lot of gaps in them for Ivole. I mean, it only takes a bit of flanking in several cases, and, you know. Oh, wait. On this case, it's Stuka's a Fuss. Clears up parts of them. So right here we're seeing a lot of Ivole's units, a lot of Ivole's defense falling back. We even see an ambulance being stolen away. Nein, that is ein Eiskleanwagen. Because the conventions forbid shooting in ambulances. So totally an Eiskleanwagen. All the way, their ambulance down. Getting suppressed here. Site laid down in desperation by Ivole. Securing the centre, we even got a medic crate then of a Kedmev which could secure those would need repairs. Guys are being outnumbered, they need to get out of there quickly! Schnelltiter, run! Run! Panzer IV pulled back with a bit of damage to it. The German situation seems a bit awkward. We're seeing John Schnee floating a lot of resources, need to do something with them. Achtung, Achtung! Use your resources, you Schweinhund. And Legal Talisman could at this stage calling up Panther. Looks like he might in fact be doing that. That he's getting Sturmtiger. Sherman finding a way for Jericho. I mean, it's taking the Allies an awful lot of time to actually get some armour. So to an extent, also the Germans a bit an awful lot of time here. Also need to note, he does not seem to be trading resources at all. We've got a howitzer going up here. And a lighter Feldhaubitz.
Sherman ready.
We've got the Sherman mobilized.
Button her up. Big push coming. Roger. On your feet, lady.
And it looks like the Pathfinder 50 caliber is taking full extent of this range and vision, thanks to the Pathfinders. Not bad there. Another blob assault there. Too much blobbing, to be honest. Not something I like at all. But time here for the mid-game analysis. Concentrating the Germans are a bit on the back foot, though they do possess more armor. In terms of damage, things are somewhat equal, although we do note that both sides, there's one player sort of does a bit better. Ivole's definitely the one behind him, particularly in terms of kills, so we can clearly see he's not pulling his weight whatsoever. His teammates got 81, Legal Talisman's got 99, and John Schneer's got 70, so something's clearly not adding up here. In fact, he's lost more than he's killed. That's usually, unless you're the Russians, a sign that something's not going quite well. So again, Ivole's strategy at the moment is pretty weak and not very well thought out at the moment, and certainly is leaving things much more to the Axis advantage, who's overall draining poor Jericho. I mean, sure, he's also losing more, but still, you know, he's still getting more killed. But we also know he's losing a lot more because, again, he's the one that has to pull all the weight, meaning Jericho very much is on the path of simply getting drained up, because what is Ivole doing? Nothing that's actually helping at the front line. Again, he's basically putting it all on one big string, but can't really focus it anywhere, thus gaining no actual advantages. So overall, that is not very well handled there by Ivole. As for force composition, lots of info. Both need to also get some armor, though we do finally see a bit of armor here on the way for Jericho. That's good. Ivole's infantry not looking too good either. He's got a bit of support weapons, which is nice, but he also needs to consider getting some tanks out, some armor, some Shermans, maybe a Jackson as well. They should certainly begin worrying about armor. We're 25 minutes into the game and they've really got nothing to sort of seriously deal with armor. And again, they're playing versus the Oberkommando West, so Panthers should certainly be worried about, and even then, maybe even King Tiger, so they need to consider something bigger. As for Legal Talisman, he's still holding the small amount of units he has. He's getting a Panther on the way. Not gaining a lot of veterancy here, but still holding on quite nicely. He could consider setting up here to trade for fuel. I mean, he's got a ton of munitions, but he's not really doing much with it, so that would certainly be an idea for him. He could also just consider aiming straight for King Tiger next. As for John Schneef, also a bit of resource being flooded here. We've got a howitzer setting up here. He could easily follow up with another Panzer IV, I think, or if he's feeling really confident, he could take up and actually try to aim for Panther of his own, or maybe even a Sturm Panzer IV to sort of add a bit of high explosive power, knocking out the defenses of Ivole much more easily. I mean, the options are there, but the Germans definitely need to put a bit more attention to the flanks and sort of quickly outmaneuver the positions of Ivole, because again, they are very much easy to deal with if he just sort of puts a bit of thought into it. And again, that's really one thing Ivole needs to get into his head. He can't just keep playing like this. This is no good. Not if you actually want to get anywhere that resembles good. So that is something he needs to look into rather seriously. I think though that rather covers it. So to Ivole here and back to the fight. Head-on assault again from the Germans. I mean, in that regard, you know, both sides are lacking a bit of imagination when it comes to actually attacking positions. It tends to be head-on assaults and blobbing up, which is overall not something I can do, and always something I would say, you know, fix that before you send in a video. Fix it.
We're losing a capture point.
So in his case, I'll just sort of use this one to just say point out and you'll fix it before again saying in. And well, because some of the other submissions were, quite frankly, much worse. Then he'll pull back again, another blob assault. But again, also taking a lot of casualties here with the things you have taken to pull back. How's it ready, though he can't fire this close. But it's certainly going to help break down Ivole's defenses as well. And there we go, just being forced back. Ultimately, the amount of firepower being caught towards him is too much. Johnny there catching on fire like a Roman candle. And Fudgemig is just wiping things out here from a nice flank assault there committed by Legal Talisman. Further wiping out this huge blob retreat, which is also very careful. You get careful because again, Jenny and blobs tend to move together, retreat together, which also makes for easier kills on the retreat to a certain extent. In fact, he's even set up a major position here, which also risks, you know, losing everything. And there you go, bun grenade, Jericho, too late there. I mean, overall, Jericho needs to sort of work on his unit management. There's definitely a lot of things that need to be improved. He's too wasteful and too blobby. Panther 4 following up here on the Panther as it makes its advance through the centre. Another Sherman out here. Artillery going down the American base. Not really effective though, I mean, I would say. Another advance here. Coming under fire here. Panther and Panzer 4 shooting. High close rounds and machine gun rounds. Germans down to 100 points. Which on here for the Panther 4 needs to fall back here. Got the Shermans moving in as well.
The enemy is overrunning one of our capture points.
Going for here, but not salvaging the ambulance. Position needs to be cleared up first. And another blobby assault there. Better. Stukas of Huster went down. Stukas of Huster went down. Troops are getting suppressed still. Shams down, clone going down. Could he get it? Could he get it? Could he get it? Feuer frei, Helmut. And there you go. Out of control and kaput. Anti-tank got cleared out as well, so that pretty much leaves this position without any anti-tank support, which means a single tank could roll that up in seconds. So we'll half a minute. Grenades and Panzerschrecks. And there you go. Position about to be compromised before when the rear troops won't be getting out of their line, honestly. And again, Ivole's position are so easily breached and knocked out. And he's actually sending up an ambulance for some reason to support this. I'm not even sure what he's thinking. And there you go, that's just basically free experience here for the Sturmpioniere. Who've gained specialty 4 in the process. And that's hardly good. But the Germans need to make a bit more efforts around the victory points. They can't really keep this up. Mines going up to protect.
Half-track. A capture point is under attack.
John Schnee still flooding resources. Come on, Leute. Get it together.
One of our fighting positions is sustaining fire.
Fighting position, so and now we're seeing flak emplacements going up here. That's a rarity to see flak emplacement actually being used here. That should be interesting to see in action. Should be interesting to see in action. They do black bin affections still going off as well.
Down to 50 points. I say again.
You get, I mean, the Fosgers can do it, but it's going to take ages. I mean, can just shift over one tank, clear it out in seconds. Problem solved. But there you go, 2 centimeter flak 38. The predecessor to the flak feeling. Was also a bit more mobile than this. Could easily be pushed around. Was also used quite regularly against infantry as sort of more heavy machine gun as a sort of field, can also be used quite effectively versus light vehicles. And he's actually setting up 2 in a row, and I think that's a bit overkill. And it's also, I mean, 500 manpower, so it's just a bit of resource waste there by legal Titan troops. Another half-track assault here, not bad, but encounters the Panther rather right away. I mean, it's a bit too late now to call in half-tracks, so we get any effect. And he's too late in actually sort of using it offensively like he's doing there. Needs to get the men out of there. Also recruit the anti-tank gun and use some armor-piercing rounds as soon as possible. Barrage tracking down the Amerikaner there. Leichtes Infanteriegeschützbarrage. Move the anti-tank gun up a bit and fire the armor-piercing rounds, my friend. Come on, Ivole, you can... maybe not, actually. Oops, one way. Legal Talisman. Infantry looking, well, not much better. Repairing the half-track. Flank exposed. Might be John Schnee's moving up Panther 4 to deal with that. There you go, half-track knocked out. Anti-tank guns easily flanked here. Panther pulling back. I mean, overall, Ivole's not really handling this efficiently. He could probably have done a lot more damage to the Panther much quicker with a few armor-piercing rounds. He might also try to doing something to the Panzer 4. Captain that needs to go away before he gets murdered up close. Armor-piercing rounds again. Armor-piercing rounds. There you go. Quick blitz. Now the Panthers are tank from the other side. Turn the anti-tank gun and deal with that. In the meanwhile, assault going up here. And there you go. The flanking placements are rather weak to armor. And in this case, they're cleared out, actually like making them usable by the enemy. Which is generally not what you want to do. Still no sign of armor-piercing rounds again would help much greatly versus the Panther. So... Again, clearly something Ivole could do with improving on. Trying to actually crew the flat emplacement while there's a Storm Pioneer in the building. The Storm Pioneers, while they need to get away there. Veterans E4, but so little health, so little men. Get them out of there. Scheiße, zurückfallen. Come on, what are you thinking, man? Show some concern for your veterans. Oh, come on.
We've lost a squad of infantry.
Waste of units there. Buy a legal talisman. And we got a Pack 43 now covering the centre as well, though not too well. I think you could have a bit more of a forward position, if anything. Bit too back. Not sure why he's blitzing around that Panzer IV at the moment. There's not really anything for it to reach. Paying the shams. Now he could, for example, crew the flat emplacements. Maybe use some reaction on troops. Then fix them out. Oh, Fallschirmjäger is arriving to harass. There's a bit more engine damage there. And we got the Panzer IV arriving here. Nothing to support the Sherman, though. That is pretty much Gutes Nacht, Leute. Sterben Sie die Armies. Anyway, shooting them down. The Mark 1 cavalry don't get completely outmaneuvered here. Though so far the response from Jericho is, as usual, pretty tepid. And we're seeing here that Ivole's now finally focused with force bit back, but he's also falling back completely. Now getting too much defensive, it would seem, and looks like a Panzerich there was secured. Sherman on fire, flak emplacements though still usable. Again, a few Riazon troops could easily repair them and crew them. Turn them against Jericho, certainly making this position a bit harder to take without armor support at all. Panther on the move again. We're seeing a second Panther on the way here for legal talisman soon. Veteran in 2 for this one, making it only more difficult for the bazooka to deal with this. Captain Mark 1 to consider retreating rather than dying heroically for his country while achieving absolutely nothing. More barrages there, S-mine fields going off. Looks like one flat emplacement went up in smoke and fire. Oh, Panther on the pursuit here. Shot failed to penetrate. And there goes Sherman getting flanked here by the other Panther. Moving in, moving in. Panther. Oh, we got the second one moving in. Panther Falls moving up. Another ambulance cooked off. So many ambulances getting wrecked in this fight. There's certainly someone who's going to have to do some explaining as to how all these ambulances got lost. Still with 41 points left, there might be still a slight chance of the Americans going up, but so far they seem to be rather wasting a lot of units and not really conducting anything cohesively. To a certain extent it feels like they're playing each their own game. Whereas the Germans are, for their mistakes and flaws, actually working together, despite however crudely. And I'm not entirely sure what he's doing here at the Pack 43. He just seems to be firing it at the ground, which is not really going to do much. It's not like the ground is communist. Looks like a Jackson arrives here for Jericho. Not bad, but a bit late. Bit late. More Fallschirmjägers here for legal talisman. No orbital dart instead, maybe. Half-track is somehow actually still alive, impressively, and looks like a Jackson here for Ivole. So both players now getting Jacksons. Not bad. The engineers here, though, getting absolutely murdered horribly. There you go. The half-track went down Jackson width and burned it up there with a 90mm armor-piercing round. We've got the Sherman ready as well. Panther falling back. He's waiting for armor support. We've got the Panzer IV there. He's making a head-on assault. He knows his opponent has a Jackson, so why is he doing that? Panther needs to blitz. Blitz. Oh, he can't. And I think this Panzer IV fear at least will be knocked out. There we go. Kaput. That could have been executed a bit better there by the Germans. But at least they're trying. Artillery joining in. Good coordination. Adequate. I think would be better work. Oh, you might see the Panther go down. Scheiße! Step on it, Wilhelm. Looks like he might make it. It's going to be close though. But looks like he did it. He saved the Panther. No one there. And looks like a Schwerpanzer headquarters going up for John Schnee. And he's scanning up Panther of his own. Been some time since we've actually seen a Wehrmacht Panther, even in a 2 versus 2. Though I think it says something about the concentration that the Wehrmacht player can activate. You know, I might actually be able to get a Panther and not get utterly turned over. Germans holding on to the victory points much better now. And again, the American effort is increasingly haphazard. There we go, another Panther arriving here. Straight to the front line for the Kampfgruppe Walter. Panther here, then you need to be careful. You're completely exposing the armour. Not really how you use a Panther. Looks like this one also gets... No, never mind. It did not. Lots of resource building going on here by Ivole and Legal Talisman. Something that could be looked into. And also definitely a lot of resource being flooded here to some extent, at least fuel-wise here by John Schnee, though he could get a Panther here or a Sturmpanzer. Either could provide a bit more punch. Got the heads of firing again. Only 5 kills though. Not really good aiming. Well, there you go, got a few kills. Pintel MG erneut für John Schnees Panzerkampfwagen 5. And there goes Sean makes a wait, but actually getting within Panzerfaust range. Oh, still good. What is he thinking? Looks like a 2-strike going down here to cover things down as the Panther moves up. There we go. High velocity gun fires and shoots and penetrates. It looks like a Browning there was dropped. Rocket strike, no, it's a rocket strike there. Heavy damage inflicted already upon the Panther.
A fresh officer has arrived.
With another officer arriving here. And here we go, I mean, now Ivole's just going completely the other end. Now he's just getting tank destroyers, but you know, they're not tanks. And they're just getting easily dealt with here by the infantry. Rather needs to get it together. And now the Panther Blitz is in dealing here with the damage and useless Jacksons in seconds. Nicely done there by Legal Talisman. An absolute blunder here by Ivole. Absolute blunder. Nothing short of that. Artillery sight going down here on the American armor assembled. More Jacksons. Captain down, and Jackson's down, crew down, captain down. Lots of things down there. And not all easy kills for the Germans. In fact, close to victory Fleet Panther there. I mean, everything's just falling apart for the Americans now. Tactics have pretty much ceased to exist. Strategy as well, it would seem. And there we go. Panther and Pack 43 knocks out one Jackson in seconds flat. Not exactly impressive there for Jericho. Second Jackson down. I mean, this is just turning into a massacre at the moment.
Our opponents are seizing the sector.
Another Panther on the way for John Schnee. The other one, first one combat ready again. And another one on the way here for Schnee. Oh, rifle wiped out there in the S minefield. Unit preservation definitely lacking here. And back to Jericho. Back to Jericho. With now Scott. I mean, he's still dealing with Panther. Somebody's getting Scott. I mean, it basically seems like Ivole is just throwing everything at the wall and seeing what sticks without no mythology or strategy to it. And paratrooping units straight into enemy lines. I mean, it seems like really the Americans have stopped trying even. I mean, at this point, I might as well stop because nothing's really going to happen. I mean, this is a really, really gruesome 2 versus 2 Monday nights fighting a lot of things. I mean, there's a lot of stuff here which I mentioned much clearlier, and, you know, the old company heroes cast. But again, you know, one of them is don't divide by what does what in terms of defensive offensive, in particular not the way Ivole did it. It's a very, very bad idea. As you saw, Jericho was the one getting ground down. Then they could easily dispatch Ivole with haste. I mean, there was no actual strength in that, in particular because he left everything so stretched out with no reserve to sort of back it up. That was overall a terrible defensive strategy there enacted by Ivole, and he really should have seen it coming. Overall, he was also lacking in aggression, and his tactics were pretty bad. I mean, tactically, overall, this fight was pretty bad. There was a lot of blobbing, a lot of head-on assaults, very little flanking going on there, so also very little sort of common sense going on, little sort of realization of the situation on the battlefield. A lot of units wasted, like ambulances, jacks, and just units thrown away constantly throughout this fight. This was not good at all, and there's definitely a lot of soul-searching that ought to be going on there, a lot of sort of people going on, and certainly noting again, the two players who did the best with Jericho and Legal Talisman, the other players at this point, heavily lacking behind. Heavily. I mean, he's lost twice as many units he's killed at this point. Not exactly good either, but at the same time for the Germans, a bit better. But even then, I mean, again, the Americans were terrible. Ivole in particular, Jericho did his best, but even then he was using some pretty rudimentary tactics and wasted a lot of units several times. When he blocked things up, so he makes it easy for the Germans. I mean, that was not good at all. So again, you know, don't blob up. Think your units through a bit more. Don't throw away equipment like that, and so on. And the armor tactics also had a lot of issues. I mean, overall, it was one big mess from both sides. The Germans just had it a bit better together, and that was all what just allowed them to win. They had it just a bit better together. I mean, had the Americans expressed, for example, a bit more aggression early on, they could have slowed down things a lot more for the Germans. Had they prepared themselves for armor a bit more, besides just bazookas, which got wiped out before the armor arrived, I mean, they might also have been a bit better prepared. I mean, overall, poor usabilities, no armor-piercing rounds, for example, when there was a Panther in front of it. So many things to criticize. And then by the end, I mean, Ivole just sat back and did nothing, holding on to territory that was essentially worthless. I mean, overall, Ivole really dragged down this fight. Just near, though, flooded a lot of resources. He could also have done a lot more, though he got a bit more into the fight as the game progressed. That's alright. But then it was Legal Talisman and Jericho pulling this fight, and even they had a lot of things that could be worked on a lot more. So overall, I think that rather covers it for this Monday night's fight. I hope you learned something. I hope you got a bit of an idea of how to play this game and how not to play this game. If you did want to subscribe, tell your friends, share it with everyone. If not, you know, send in a replay and I'll provide some feedback in the comments. This is Imperial Dane saying cheers and thank you all for watching.